Good evening. It's June 6th, 2025. It's Friday, and it's my honor and my sure pleasure.
It's Friday today?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
June 6th, 2025. It's Friday. I know time goes by fast, doesn't it? Mr. Jeckovich said to me a month ago or so that you blinked your eyes at 20, you're 80.
Yeah.
And you blinked your eyes at 20, now you're 100.
Yeah.
Where did those 80 years go?
Yeah, where'd they go?
Where'd they go?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of younger people are very naive. They think they'll be around forever, but it goes fast. Yeah. Listen, boys and girls.
Time goes on. Time goes on.
It's a short dance around the sun, and enjoy every day. Well, getting back to it, we're on Studio 6A, June 6, 2025, Friday. It's my pleasure and honor to be speaking with a true World War II frontline combat infantry hero, Mr. John Jeckovich. Today is the 81st anniversary
of D-Day.
Could you imagine if you were on the first wave?
Oh, boy.
What courage those young boys had.
Yeah. They were told to go and they went.
Yeah, they're very patriotic and very tough guys, young guys, and
where he was at.
They feared nothing. Front wave, you get off those ships and you're 4 feet from
They
the
were
sheet.
scared hell. They were scared to hell.
You get off those ships in the water, waist deep, and you're face to face with German machine guns everywhere.
Yeah.
First wave.
They had the underground, the water booby traps too.
Yeah, they're still finding those bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But listen, I think the casualties on the first and second and third waves are 100%.
Oh, well.
Yeah, 100%. Those young boys had guts and courage that you wouldn't believe. Getting off that boat and dropping themselves in a waist deep water. They're eyeball to eyeball with German machine guns.
They were told to do it.
I know, they're patriotic, and listen, we probably wouldn't have won the war if it wasn't people like that.
No, they did what they were supposed to do. Were
those mostly Marines?
Huh?
Were those mostly Marines, or were
No, Marines weren't over. The Marines were over in the Pacific.
those are mostly Army soldiers.
Army.
Okay, where were you on D-Day?
Where was I on D-Day? Skating on a wreck creek.
So you weren't old enough yet?
No.
Or was he in training, I think?
No, you weren't. Were you in training? Or?
I think you were in training.
No, I wasn't in training.
It was Pearl Harbor.
I think you mean.
Yeah.
They were going to draft me.
You waited to get drafted, but listen. First wave, second wave, third wave, complete casualties. Eye to eye with machine guns. If it wasn't for fierce fighters like that, we would never would have won.
Yeah, but they were told to go, they went.
Yeah.
They were scared of hell.
Yeah, of course they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19 years old. They were 33s.
Yeah. Combat veteran. 33 is a code name for teenagers. Wow, what a brave group of soldiers. 81 years ago, jumping off that boat.
Well, what happened to Clint? How come Clint was in it? What happened to these people that never went in? Huh?
They were there.
He had a crush on his heel or something.
Well,
they're not worried about it.
You're looking well today, though.
Yeah.
You beat the system. You've been retired for 45 long, wonderful years. And you got 600 stories in your podcast. Stories about helping younger people have a better life, an easier life. 600 stories you put out.
Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment besides the book. How many pages was the book?
849.
849, wow. I heard you had a very special visitor today.
Amber.
Wasn't she nice? You see how she had her nails done?
No, she slept half the time.
She slept half the time?
Yeah, she's got a bad nose.
Wow. Did you guys have dinner?
No, she left after she woke up, she left.
Did you have a nice dinner?
Yeah, I had a nice dinner at the dining room, yeah.
Wow. So all in all, you had a great day.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what.
She slept at 2 hours and left.
Wow. At least she's here. That's more I can say about
Now
this.
she's back at that Holy Roller stuff she said.
Well, she's a devout Christian. She travels the world, actually travels the entire world. Bible in one hand, surfboard in the other. She surfs all around the world. She's very devoted. She's very devoted to surfing. She's very devoted to the Bible. Even though she lives on the ocean, she can roll out and be in the sand. I guess when you're an avid surfer, you're always looking for some bigger, more intense wave, and that's probably what it's all about. So, Mr. Jeckovich was from, hey, she shows. She comes a lot to visit you.
Oh.
Amber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where the fuck is everybody else?
Huh?
Where the fuck is everybody else? Forget about Waldo. Where's the rest of the relatives?
Yeah.
Pieces of shit. Let's face it.
Yeah.
You got a son and an asswiped daughter-in-law 3 miles from your house, and we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're alive. We don't know if they're dead.
I have no interest. I have no interest there.
We don't know if they're drug addicts or alcoholics. We don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
No contact at all. It gets down to the simple thing, boys and girls. Listen, when you're having a normal life with your family and everything's easy, there's no hardships. You're going to picnics and you're singing Kumbaya and holding each other's hand and telling each other how great they are and what a beautiful house each one has. That's a simple life. There's no pressure. But then when you have to be interested in being involved with a family member that needs something or might be elderly, you abandon them like a rat would abandon a sinking ship, right?
And that's what they did with me. They said that we don't want to get too fed. They asked me for stuff.
Yeah, they disappeared. And what Delphine say about your other son?
Huh?
What Delphine say about your other son? Delphine said something about where's your other son?
Oh, I mean,
You said Delphine asked you something about your other son.
J.K.
Yeah, what'd she say?
Well, I haven't seen him in 10 years.
Where'd he go?
He's here.
Disappeared.
He didn't want to get involved with me.
Yeah, it's an easy way out. God damn it.
That was before I had the wheelchair, too.
Yeah, this is the fifth commandment, honor your mother and father. These are mortal sins with this so-called family is doing, but they're eking away a living and they're telling each other what great family people they are and what great parents they are and what great parents they are, but it's all bullshit. They're living a big lie.
Yeah.
They're living a fucking big lie.
Yeah, they don't want to bother with me because they figure out they're asking for help.
Yeah, and which you don't. I mean, at least they could show their ugly fucking faces up and make an appearance. But this, you have to remember this, and it just doesn't happen here. It happens in 90% of the families. You'll realize this, the most poisonous people on earth come disguised as family. I'll say it again. The most poisonous people on earth come disguised as family. Like that crazy ass daughter-in-law you have living down the road here. She's nothing but a sociopath with no empathy. That crazy bitch would unplug, if you were on life support, she would fucking unplug your life support so she could plug in her cell phone to charge it.
Yeah.
That's how fucking miserable people they are. But so what? They broke the fifth commandment. They're mortal. It's a mortal sin, and they're telling each other how wonderful they are.
Yeah.
They're living a big lie. Their life is one big fucking lie. And they're telling, imagine how embarrassed their kids are, or imagine how embarrassed their grandkids are that they're conducting themselves in such a fashion. I wonder what brought this up, but I'm glad we did mention it. Yeah.
All right.
Hey. So there you go. There you go, youngsters. If you're counting on your kids to take care of you in your advanced years, good luck. Good fucking luck, because it won't happen. You have a better chance of having a goddamn illegal alien helping you than your fucking kids. They'll abandon you like a rat will abandoning a sinking ship. Okay, Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by a motto: yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today's a gift. Yeah. It's a short dancing around the sun. Isn't today a gift?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you beat the system. Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925, and now we're sitting in 2025, and he's knocking on the door of 100. Hear that? Those fucking doors are knocking.
Yeah.
100 years old.
Eternity, yeah.
Hey, well, look at this guy. Come on. Take a minute and look. He reads 3 newspapers in the morning with no glasses, primarily the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. He could shake your hand and knock you to the ground. It's so powerful. He never took a prescription in his life, never took a vitamin in his life. Did you drink?
No.
Did you smoke?
No.
That's interesting, because when you're at World War II, the Red Cross was passing out cigarettes like candy bars.
Yeah, I give it all the people my drip.
What were some of the brands?
Pall Mall, Lucky Strike,
Yeah.
Chesterfield.
Yeah.
And then they named camps after them, too.
Yeah, okay. So tell us about that. When the war was over, you had to go to a camp. And at these camps, you had to get a point system to be sent home, because the war was
we went
over.
home by points.
And what was on the name of these tents?
Lucky Strike, Pall Mall.
Yeah. So the cigarette companies really had it in to advertise during World War II.
Yeah.
17.
So basically, if you weren't killed during the war, 20 or 30 years later, you're probably killed by lung cancer,
He's smoking.
smoking. But the cigarette companies are still very devious and cunning and clever in many ways. Tell us what they did later with the convenience stores.
They put a pack of cigarettes out on the counter and had the kids steal.
Yeah, that was their
They
thing.
stole there, they wanted them to steal, yeah.
After they poisoned all the young American soldiers, American soldiers, they smoked out a board, and they felt their time was up anyways. They didn't think they were going to make it home. So what the shit, I'll smoke anyways. But then after the war was over, 20 years after that, the 15 or 20,000 7-Elevens, the bastards, that's the cigarette companies, the tobacco companies, would put these big carton displays at the front register. And they made it real easy so the kids could steal.
Yeah.
The underage kids could steal. And their philosophy is quite simple. A pack stole today is a carton sold tomorrow. Wow. What rotten son of a bitches. What rotten son of a bitches. And I imagine it's so easy to get addicted to cigarettes.
Yeah.
Did people smoke in your family?
No.
I thought
Well,
you
my father smoked, wrapped his up.
uh,
Smoked once a day.
I thought your brother's wife smoked.
No, no.
Adeline didn't smoke?
Who?
Your brother's wife? Your brother Lookie's wife didn't smoke?
No, I don't think so.
Adeline didn't smoke?
No, no.
When she came in downstairs, and the mother, you put a big sign up there that said no smoking.
Yeah, well, maybe she smoked.
How about
Yeah.
Uncle Charlie?
Uncle smoked cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably smoked, yeah.
Because remember, you
And when I told her not to smoke in my mother's house, she said, I have to smoke. I have to smoke.
During World War II, there were 16,400,000 young men that participated in the war. These are real patriots. They're really great people. That's why we call it the greatest generation. That's why we call it the greatest generation. And during that time, we have less than 6,000 combat infantry veterans left, like Mr. Jeckovich, yeah. And we're losing them at a rate of 150 a day. So that's the story. We have no more World War I vets. We just have 6,000 combat infantry vets of World War II. And by the way, Mr. Jeckovich didn't sit in the back room typing, did you?
Yeah, what?
You didn't sit in the back room typing. You were on the front line in the war.
Yeah, I wasn't a rear ass, no.
This man was on front lines, the Battle of Bulge and many other wars. He busted the gates open to the prisoner war camps. He busted the gates open, Holocaust camps. And
American soldiers in there, too.
yeah, but big strapping guys at 200, barely surviving, can't move at 60, 70, 80.
Told them, don't feed them.
And what were you told not to do when you broke the gates?
Don't feed them.
Because their system's gone,
Yeah,
right?
this is gone, yeah.
And so when you witness something like that, you couldn't even understand how horrific it is, and I'm not gonna fucking trying to explain it. But the place, it rents space in your mind every day, every day, every day, every day. Horrible things took place. It's just amazing that any of them survived. For the fun of it, in the middle of winter, the Nazi guards, these American soldiers have really nothing on but thin rags. Their shoes are all been stolen. For the fun of it, the Nazi guards would just blow a few fire hoses on you and see what you look like when you freeze.
Yeah, they're full of fire hoses. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a horrible situation. The Nazi upper echelon in these prisoner war camps had an obsession with twins. They picked up 600 sets of twins from neighboring cities, did unbelievable, heinous experiments on them. There was only a few left at the end of these experimentation. One of the 6 things they would do with these twins, they would sew them together and see how they survived.
Yeah, but their own people didn't know anything about it. They didn't want to know nothing about
Yeah,
it.
their own German.
Right, we don't know nothing about
Nothing
this.
about it.
We don't know nothing about this.
So at the end of the war, the coward Adolf Hitler blew his brains out. He didn't want to go down like Mussolini. Mussolini was captured alive,
Yeah,
bare-ass naked. They hung him from a tree by his feet and beat the shit out of him in a gas station.
oh,
Hitler didn't, hey Homer, Hitler didn't want to go down that way. He was a fucking coward and he blew his brains out. And that's exactly what he did. He didn't want to be a Mussolini.
really, yeah.
He didn't want to be a Mussolini. An interesting fact, I was looking at some of your papers when you were to get drafted. Tell us why did you wait to get drafted?
Why?
Yeah. Why'd you wait to get drafted?
Well, I had to take care of my mother.
Yeah. So Mr. Jeckovich made a major sacrifice. His brothers enlisted, and one brother never went to combat, never left the United States, and he was teaching people how to drive Jeeps.
Yeah.
Did he have some special talent?
Yeah, I hit a fire hydrant.
So he hit a fire hydrant and he was awarded the position of staying in the United States to teach others.
Well, he was in school. He was in school, yeah.
So if you enlist, you could get a better position. Mr. Jeckovich made the supreme sacrifice. He waited till he got drafted. So it would take longer. He could spend more time with his mother because his father died working as a slave, taking care of his family, stirring cement, when his father was 43. So now it's his responsibilities to take care of his mother. And then by doing so, he went right to the front line combat as a teenager. Right to the front line combat. During World War II, he was shot.
10.
During World War II, Mr. Jeckovich was shot in the shoulder by a sniper. He was beat up. He was
Lost a hip.
Lost a hip, trench foot, frostbite.
Yeah, I still got trench foot.
And he still has shrapnel in his body from what they call a dirty bomb. A dirty bomb is a device that the assholes in the Germany Nazis would put together. And what would they put in this?
Screwdrivers, razor blades, all kinds of stuff.
Old piece of metal.
Yeah, and
Anything that would blow up and do the most amount of damage to these young boys. He still has it in his leg right now. If he tried to get on an airplane right now, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Alarms would go off, right?
I got a slip. I should show him the slip.
What's the slip say?
This man has got metal in his body.
Yeah.
He's a veteran.
Okay, that's a good slip to have. Otherwise, you got alarms going off
Yeah.
like you won the lottery in a casino. So, so he went through hell during World War II. And getting back to this dirty bomb hit his buddy, Donald Lape, right?
Yeah.
And you were street smart. You grew up on the streets in Niagara Falls, but Donald Lape was not street smart.
Yeah.
What he kept doing?
Kept popping his head around. I said, keep your head down. What are you looking for? You're not seeing anything there. We'll hold down here. We hold down here for a while.
Like how did he show us how?
And he started popping
Show
his
us
head
how he'd pop it up.
up. He pop his head up, and they
Just-
when they
was it
were
just-
looking for him, and they zeroed in on him, and they shot him.
Yeah. Well, the dirty bomb went off, blew his head off, and left his glasses hanging from one ear.
Yeah.
And then this is the same bomb that is in Mr. Jeckovich's left leg right now. It didn't go away. Donald Lape was just a teenager, he was a great guy, I'm told. And he lost his life, like millions of other people did during that nasty World War II. And ironically, Mr. Jeckovich has been retired since when?
Yeah.
How many years?
By
How many years have you been retired?
1980.
So Mr. Jeckovich has been retired for 45 years, and sadly and ironically, Donald Lape's brother, which is his younger brother, he was too young to go in World War II. He retired only a few blocks from Mr. Jeckovich's house. We didn't find that out. He was there for 25 years. We didn't find that out until we were given an obituary. And that was a sad fact because Mr. Jeckovich and Donald Lape's brother could have had great stories to reminisce about and be the memory of his brother, Donald Lape. So, but during the World War II, it was a bloody battle. It was a horrible battle. And Mr. Jeckovich had many injuries. And for his injuries, he received the Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Army Good Conduct Medal, American Campaign Medal, a European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Service Stars, World War II Victory Medal, Army of Occupation Medal with Germany Clasp, Combat Infantry Badge, Sharpshooter Badge with carbine, pistol, and machine gun bars, Marksman Badge with rifle bar, and Honorable Service Lapel Button from World War II. With all these medals, you were in a really great position to make the military your life, your career.
Yeah,
This is a good start.
I don't know how I got after it either.
Why didn't you make the military your career?
Well, it didn't appeal to me.
Okay, but you had to take care of your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why the book is titled Their Mother's Sons. And it just tells you about younger people trying to giving them a roadmap of an easier and better life. Mr. Jeckovich's mind is like a library. If you have any questions for him, text him at 407-366-0000. Text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. He'll be glad to answer any questions. You probably, in the last 2 years, with 600 podcasts, you probably answered over 1,000 questions by now.
Yeah, probably.
And you have people from all over the
Yeah,
world
Netherlands, all over.
send you trinket gifts, hats, and
Leather jackets.
leather jackets, belt buckles, commemorative World War II souvenirs.
Yeah.
It was just nice and kind of them. But it always gets back to the number one question when we turn on our laptop. How much is the book and where can we buy it?
That's not for sale.
The book is not written to be for sale. And how many pages again?
849 pages.
The book is not written to be for sale. The book is strictly to be a roadmap to help serve the younger generation to have an easier and better life. Because think about it, life is very complex and difficult now. It's expensive. It takes two people working. It takes a husband working and a wife working. And it's still hard to even buy a house for younger people. So this is a roadmap. The book is not for sale. Mr. Jeckovich is financially well off. He doesn't need anyone's money. It's like to share his knowledge. And so text him with any questions at 407-366-0000. There is one original copy of his book in the World War II Museum, and that's in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're about 3 months in. We're having a full-blown statue of Mr. Jeckovich AI being done, and he'll look exactly like this, same movement, same mannerism, same voice, and he'll be able to ask questions in the museum once perfected, the AI for 10, 20, 30 years ahead. So it's really a beautiful thing, and so here's the real guy, here's the real deal. Text him at 407-366-0000. Mr. Jeckovich, I noticed on your papers, when you got drafted, you weighed 187 pounds. How much do you weigh now?
151.
You got a lot of catching up to do.
I'll never do it.
You got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
Well, on a happy note, if you try down your 2 uniforms now, they'll fit loosely.
Yeah.
Like when most people get older, they get bigger and they can't fit.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. And it says here that you were born and you lived at 3063 Orleans Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. Is that true?
Right.
What was Niagara Falls like?
Beautiful, beautiful city. Then it's a dump now. It's gone to hell.
It went to hell.
Yeah. Beautiful city.
I know a mile from Niagara Falls, there's Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And that's that's like Disney.
Yeah. Niagara Falls,
like
Ontario,
Disney.
yeah. Canada, yeah.
And it still is like Disney today.
Yeah.
2.5.
Huh?
2.5.
So that is absolutely beautiful.
The Moffitt took care of Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
That's where
crooked
they're from the New York City.
Yeah, and crooked politicians too.
Yeah.
I notice also in some of your paperwork here that you're giving out a mustering out pay, which was supposed to be enough money to set you up in civilian life. You were giving a grand total of mustering out pay of $300. Is that correct?
Yeah, once a month.
Yeah, and then they gave you $100 a month for 3 months. And also, they were extremely generous that they gave you $21.95 to travel back to your city.
Yeah, bus fare.
Yeah, and signed by your Colonel J.H. Harris on the date of April 30th, 46, that the government issued you $210.92.
Yeah.
Of all those years you're in the war, didn't you give most of your money to your mother?
Oh, yeah.
Did she appreciate it?
Well, I guess she did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a nice thought. Did most of the GIs give their money?
I don't know.
Are you still in contact with any of your GIs?
No.
I mean, we don't have many left. Most of them are in the late 90s, early 100s. Wow. Do you have your all your medals?
I had them, but I don't know where they are now.
Seconds.
49.
How about your uniforms?
They're the same thing.
How about your 150 V-mails?
Same thing. My sister tore those up.
Why'd she do that?
I don't know. That's where she is.
Okay. But hey, listen. You beat the system. You've been retired for 45 years. You're in better health than most 30 or 40 or 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It really is. I don't think I know a person that's 100.
I don't.
What?
I don't think I know a person that's 100. Do you, Homer?
What's
Do
that?
you know anyone that's 100?
My what?
Do you know anybody that's 100?
No, I don't.
I don't either. You beat the system.
How do you figure I beat